And you know what it is. Tweet A, tapping in. Anybody who fuck with me, fuck my music, you gotta fuck with Karmelo Anthony, man. Justice for my dog. Website coming soon. You gotta tap in, man. Yeah.
I hope that black people understand this. When you are out here making a merch site, doing a GoFundMe for a kid that killed somebody, and won't do a merch site and a GoFundMe for a kid that was killed by somebody, you headed down the wrong mother freaking path. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you about Masa chips. This is my favorite chip, but obviously we got the bag that you can see right through it. But Masa chips, an incredible chip. I love it. We have bags and bags and bags of these at the house. This so happened to be the lime version, which is one of my favorites because this has a lot of flavor. The Carbonero, which is a spicy one, that's one of my favorites as well. I can't find a flavor of this chip that is not incredibly good. And why is it so good? Because it's healthy. These are the chips that you could eat and eat with nachos and all the kind of stuff that make sure you eat them with good nachos and real cheese. That you can binge on it and not have to worry about it causing you all kinds of other health concerns because they're putting seed oils in it. This is basic stuff, ladies and gentlemen. If you look at the back, ingredients is organic corn, 100% grass-fed beef tallow, sea salt, and lime. Go to the grocery store right now and you find me a bag of chips that taste this good that only have 4 or 5 ingredients in it. You ain't gonna find it. But for the people that I love, and the reason why I love Masa chips, and I don't know how many of you guys have bought them. I've seen it. I mean, it's tons of y'all, and they're absolutely great. All you have to do is go to masachips.com/Officer Tatum, and make sure you use code Officer Tatum for 25% off. So I'm giving you the hookup, 25% off. Make sure you use that Officer Tatum code, and you won't regret it. If you regret it, email me and I'll buy you a bag of your favorite chips. But these are really, really good Masa chips. Make sure you get some today. All right, let's get to Karmelo Anthony's family doing the most. Now, I don't know if this is verified. This is going to be the difference between me and other people that you follow. They'll just go off the hook and just say all this stuff is true. I don't know. I can't verify what their situation is. I just know it's rumored, and these rumors don't look good for them. That they got this GoFundMe money, which, to be honest, the judge didn't have to lower the bond amount because they got $500,000, which would probably be enough collateral to take care of the bond, to bond him out. So they have the means to accomplish the $1 million bond. So for them dropping the bond to $250,000 was extremely low and unnecessary. Let's move forward. We see that they raised $500,000. It's going to go up more and more. We get closer to the trial. And if he takes this to trial, it's probably going to get more and more. There's going to be more and more money coming in because the people of the melanin are silly as a mother. I bet you $1 million. Most of the people that funded this are black.
Anthony's family. This is BLM. This is what the black community does. This is what our pastors do. This is what they do, right? And so the family of Karmelo Anthony are still raising money. They got the bond reduced to $200,000, kept the rest of the money, moved into a mansion, right? So if you are so-called threats, why do you have to move in an $800,000 a year house? A house worth $800,000? Because it's Black Lives Matter all over again. Remember how Black Lives Matter stole all the money from the black community, raised over $50 million, and then disappeared, and they were investigated for fraud and exposed by Candace Owens? Well, that's exactly what his family is doing off the backs of dumb ignorant black people who are full of racism, hate, and are so blinded by that they're willing to send money to a cause that they shouldn't be sending money to. It's BLM all over again.
And I'm telling you this, and I said it 100 times in a row. If Karmelo Anthony would have did this to another black kid, neither one of them would have got a GoFundMe. None of them. They wouldn't have supported Karmelo Anthony, and they definitely wouldn't have supported the person who died. Nobody got a GoFundMe. You want to bet me? Find me a GoFundMe where a black kid stabbed another black kid, or a black kid killed another black kid. They'll break a GoFundMe record if they GoFundMe all these young brothers that get killed by other brothers. It will never happen. These silly people of the melanin that are secretly racist and they hate white people. Go look at the GoFundMe link. Go look at his GoFundMe comments. What are they saying? They hate white people. They glad he did this. This is revenge. Let me explain this to you because this is how I used to think. When they see a white kid, when you black in America and you grew up in the hood or you grew up anywhere in a prominent black neighborhood, most of the time, not all the time, people different. Most of the time, you have a underlying hatred towards white people. Therefore, when something happened to a white person, your whole mindset is they did this to us. That's what they get. We used to be slaves. I don't care what happened to white people. They beat us. So when one of us killed them unjustifiably, it don't matter because they kill us all the time unjustifiably. So we kill one of them unjustifiably. What's the problem? They privileged. They got it anyway. The white man always got this. Look at the vitriolic theology of, I would say, the average black person in America. Oh, he gonna get unjust in the justice system. He gonna get listen. He's gonna get treated poorly in the justice system. Yet they took his bond amount from $1 million to $250,000. Oh, what happened to? He's gonna not have justice. To me, he got more than justice. They went up and beyond to lower his bond amount. But okay. Let's get to the stuff that they talking about. So allegedly, Karmelo Anthony's family is now renting a $900,000 house in a gated community because they're claiming that they're getting death threats. Listen, I didn't move my house because people say crazy stuff to me on the internet. Are there credible death threats? Now, moving into a $900,000 house, what does your original house look like? Because if you're in a $10 million house and you move to a $900,000 house, that's not a big deal. If you got a Ferrari, you got a Rolls Royce, you got a Bentley in your front yard and you bought a $150,000 Escalade, we ain't got nothing to talk about. But if the house you are renting is better and bigger than the house that you actually live in, if you then went and bought a $150,000 Escalade, which is nicer than the cars that you currently own, we got a problem. No, we don't have a problem. You got a problem. Because you essentially are showing the world that people of the melanin literally live in a perpetual grift. And I'm not saying it's everybody. What happened at Black Lives Matter? Patrice Cullors living in a perpetual grift. This is the biggest money laundering scheme that ever happened in American history from a nonprofit related to activism. They had enough influence, enough revenue, enough companies in a headlock to garnish hundreds of millions of dollars. And what did they do with the money? I want to say it, but I'm a Christian. These women are buying houses, buying up real estate, flipping houses in white neighborhoods. And now you see a situation where you got Karmelo Anthony's family allegedly buying Escalades and moving into these nice houses in a gated community after their son killed somebody. And he did it, if you ask me, this was malicious. And if the kid was white and he killed a black kid, they would be screaming to hang him and that he's a racist and it was malicious and he did it on purpose and he hoped every black man die. But when a black kid do it, somehow it's this knee-jerk reaction to say they wrong about him. I'm going to play these clips in a minute. They're just photos. I went to Paul Laurence Dunbar High School. I've driven by Paul Laurence Dunbar High School. It's named after the famous black poet Paul Laurence Dunbar in the hood. I've driven by there lately. It don't look as bad as it was when I went there. And I feel like it wasn't as bad as it was before I went there. I mean, it was worse before I went there. So the school has progressively gotten a little better, in my opinion. But even going to a hood school where dudes pull guns on each other in the parking lot, I remember one of my teammates carried a gun to practice every day because he was a gangbanger. And he feared for his life, so he carried his gun to practice every day. Now, as a rational person, not one time did I think it makes sense to take a knife to a track meet. The question that I think will be posed to Karmelo Anthony, they're definitely not going to have him testify. I think he's going to do a plea deal. If he know what's best for him, he need to plead to manslaughter and do 5 to 10 years in prison and be done with it. If he go to trial, he's going to get dang near his whole life in prison. The question that is going to come up in the hearing, or they're going to come up in the court proceeding if they go there, is why did you take a knife to the track meet? What was your intentions with the knife being in your bag at the track meet? You don't need a knife to run the 400-meter dash. the last time I checked. When you run the relay, they pass the baton. They don't pass knives to each other. So what do you need a concealed knife in your bag at a track meet for? Why? That is an uphill battle to climb. You're afraid. You're in fear. If you're afraid or in fear, then that means that you shouldn't have went there anyway. Or that means that you took it because you plan to use the thing. I can go down the list and keep getting mad. Give me the other video or the other photo. Breaking news? A merch site. Oh my God. Is this it right here?
And you know what it is. Tweet A, tapping in. Anybody who f me, f my music, you gotta f with Karmelo Anthony, man. Justice for my dog. Website coming soon. You gotta tap in, man. Yeah.
So they didn't just let me explain this. I'm not trying to be superfluous. So they just launched a merch site to support Karmelo. I'm giving you guys the most honest take on the internet. If this was my son and I thought he was done wrong and I thought he was innocent, yeah, of course I would do everything they doing. The problem is what it appeared to have happened is egregious. This is not a kid that's a good kid. Maybe he's a good kid that's at a track meet minding his business and a bunch of white boys jumping and then he stabbed one of them. This is not that scenario. It appears to me, based on the totality of circumstances, that he was in the wrong. That boy took somebody's life. They ain't never gonna get their kid back ever because somebody else's kid took a knife to a track meet and decided that he was gonna sit under somebody's tent. And when asked to leave, he said, "No, I'm gonna kill you if you touch me." That's essentially what he said. I don't. That's like saying, "You touch me and I'm gonna kill you." That's his actions is represented what he said. Is touch me and see what happened. He pretty much said, touch me and I'm gonna reach in his bag and stab you in the heart and kill you. Not if y'all jump me, but if you touch me, I'm gonna kill you. But I'm wrong though. I'm up under somebody's tent. Let me just add this real quick. Black people, the ones who are like this, not the ones who like me and they got a common sense. I'm talking about the ones who think this is okay. Do you realize that you are headed down a path of destruction that can never be recovered? I hope that black people understand this. When you are out here making a merch site, doing a GoFundMe for a kid that killed somebody, and won't do a merch site and a GoFundMe for a kid that was killed by somebody, you headed down the wrong mother freaking path. When you go to a Planned Parenthood more than anybody else, when your communities are failing and ratchet as a mother, when the education system in the inner city communities, primarily in black communities, are dismal, when y'all voting at 90% for one candidate and still lost in a landslide victory, historic landslide victory, when your murder rate amongst intraracial conflict is far beyond anybody else's, when the incarceration rate is where it's at, when the obesity rate, heart disease, diabetes, you name it, is running rampant amongst African Americans in this country, when you got all this going against you and you think this okay, if you don't change, you are going to be irrelevant. Show me a post, show me a video of white people doing this. I ain't never seen it. Does it exist? I don't know. I've never seen it. Every time a black person do something they ain't supposed to do, they doing GoFundMes. I can't find a white person that done. Find me a Mexican person that did that. Show me a Mexican kid that killed somebody like this and they GoFundMe for him. Show me a white kid where a white kid killed somebody and they doing a GoFundMe for him. In an egregious way like this was. And some of these knuckle draggers are going to say, Kyle Rittenhouse? You talking about the kid who was standing to protect the property from people looting and burning it? And then he gets chased down by an adult that's much older than him, that's actually was a pedophile. Chased him down, tried to take his right. He ran, he fled. He tried to flee for his life. The guy catches up to him, tried to grab his gun, took one to the chest or the head. One, I think he got him in the head. Then Kyle ran for help where the police at with his gun in his hand. Some dude tripped him up. He falls. He tried to hit him with a skateboard. He took a shot to the chest. Then, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll. Then another guy pulled a gun on him like this, and he shot his bicep off. And you comparing that to him? The ignorance of black folks is crazy to me. And I tell you what, people always say, Brandon, you always talking bad about black people. I think black people have so much potential. Black people are so resourceful when they want to be. Black people dominate entertainment. The funniest comedians are black comedians, in my opinion. The best music artists are black music artists, in my opinion. The best gospel Christian singers are black. They can sing. Nobody can sing better than Marvin Winans. Nobody can sing better than Marvin Sapp. I could go down the list. What's my girl? I can't think of her name right now. But nobody can sing better than her. But why do we have such talent and abilities and all of it, and we squander it? I just don't get it, man. Our top politicians who represent black people are all the dumbest people in politics. They're the dumbest people. You got like 5 of them that make sense, and they're all Republicans. The Democrats they're terrible. They're dumb. They are even though they're educated, they ain't got no common sense. They shiesty. They grifting. It's very sad. I'm gonna get off my soapbox about black folks, but merch, a new car, $443,000 GoFundMe. They need security. They don't need security, bruh. They don't need security. This is just when black people come up on some money. This reminds me of black people I know that come up on some money and they gotta do this extra stuff because they got $500,000 or something in their bank account. You know what else they're gonna do? They're gonna sue the police department for violating Karmelo Anthony's civil rights. They're gonna try to sue the police department for some type of offense against Karmelo Anthony because they overcharged him or something. They're gonna try to find a way to sue for some civil rights bullcrap so they can make even more money. Now, I don't know these people. I don't know this to be true. It just seems like with what I'm watching and how things are unfolding that this is grifty. It's grifty. They see a money train. They see it. All right, let's go on. Who is this Dominic Alexander? Let's look into this real quick. This was on my chart. So shout out to Jordan for doing it. Before we get to pastor, let's go to this picture. Dominique Alexander is the CEO and founder of Next Generation Action Network. That's that fool I put on the thing. I like what he had to say at first. I was like, okay, man, there's nothing wrong with you standing up for a young brother in the community. It ain't nothing wrong for you making sure people have justice. Then the fool jumped off a cliff talking about Kyle Rittenhouse and white people and black people don't get justice and all this other stuff. Then he jumped off the cliff. Let's look at this real quick. The known for his activism and involvement in social justice cases, including public support of Karmelo Anthony, which is this guy here, Dominique Alexander. According to the research that we've done, he got a criminal history. He got a criminal record. Am I tripping? I think that's what I'm reading. His criminal record includes injury to a child in 2011. Pled guilty to causing injury to his girlfriend's 2-year-old son. Originally received 10 years probation. Probation was revoked in 2016 due to violations. He was sentenced to 5 years in prison. Theft and forgery charges in 2017, charged with felony theft in Denton County. Charged enhanced due to a past forgery conviction. Pled guilty, served 2 days in jail. Domestic violence allegations. Arrested and indicted for family violence against longtime partner. Partner later recanted, saying he did not hurt or threaten her. Charges were dismissed in 2021. Other legal issues, past convictions include evading arrest and falsifying a police report. They couldn't pick a brother that don't have a criminal record. I know everybody make mistakes, my man, but one of your mistakes was in 2017. Was it 2017? Let me make sure my numbers are right. 2017. The domestic violence accusations was in 2019, which I take it at face value. The woman said he didn't do it. Sometimes they do it, but they feel bad. They don't want to go to jail, and they say, hell, he didn't do it now. Regardless of that, no conviction. It might as well not count. But 2017, felony theft charges, pled guilty to. And this is the person that's going and defending another black man. This is why I don't get it. You couldn't find a black man without a criminal record. You got to find a black man to have an organization where this dude got a criminal history of theft and violence and all kind of stuff. And that's the person that you're going to stand next to your son to represent your son who killed somebody.